Okay, so this is not the usual kind of bike that I mess about with. If you watch my stuff, you'll know I normally stick to two-stroke motocross bikes, really. Enduro bikes, yeah, but very rarely do I get involved with four-stroke road bikes, and it doesn't look as though there's a lot of room to do any work on anything, for one. And there's a lot of wires, which I don't like the look of. And yeah, it's just a bit more complicated, really. But anyway, I put a video on yesterday. It's a 1982 Honda CX500 Turbo. Obviously, I like the idea of the turbo. I have ridden one of these before, and the idea of the turbo is more than the effect of the turbo from the other one that I rode. So I had this running yesterday, but I only had it running on Easy Start. Now, I was spraying Easy Start into the airbox, basically, and you'd spray it in, it'd fire up, and it'd run until it had run out of Easy Start. I did attach separate fuel supply using my normal bottle. Made no difference. So I've got the original manual, which has just made me chuckle, because in the troubleshooting section it says engine won't start or is hard to start. So I was amused by that, because I am effectively a child at heart. And this is what I was anticipating the issue to be. It says the first thing to check basically is the fuel pump. Now then, if I turn the key here, the fuel system light lights up for 1.5 seconds, is what it says in the book, and then it goes out. But you should hear the fuel pump run, and I can't hear the fuel pump run. Like, there is no noise. Look, you can hear something clicking like a solenoid, but it's definitely not running. So I'm going to investigate that now. It's somewhere in there. So that's the first job, is to work out how to get it out, and then maybe I can put some voltage across it, and then see if it runs off the bike, and then see where we go from there, really. So that's the job. Okay, so here's the fuel pump here. So the instructions say to remove this bolt here, take the toolbox out, I believe, and disconnect the fuel pump wire, which will be from here. And then I haven't read the rest of it, but that's definitely the fuel pump there, and that's the bit that we want to see if it's working or not. So I reckon 99% of me says that is going to be the situation. It's going to be the fuel pump. It was a bit awkward showing you that, unfortunately. So basically, the fuel pump, which is here, this side was to the right hand side, which where I was accessing it from, and there was it's called it a banjo bolt, but it's basically a nut, so holding the fuel hose on with 2 copper washers. So that needed to come off first, and then there was a nut holding the toolkit on, and the toolkit was attached to the fuel pump, basically. And so once the banjo bolt and the wire was unplugged, then the whole thing slid out together, with the exception of, on the back of it, the fuel lines were connected, and so they needed disconnecting, well, one fuel line, and so that needed disconnecting before it would come out. Now, so the test we're going to do here is we're going to see if we apply 12 volts to it, does it turn on? Does it make a noise? Does it spin? I suspect it's not going to. And then I suspect if we replace that, then the thing will fire up on its own fuel, which would be a good do. Okay, so the easiest way to apply 12 volts to it is by just plugging it in to where it was. Now, it's not the safest thing, and turn the ignition on. So that's what we're going to do. Right, so the fuel pump is working, so that is not the reason. That is not the reason. Half of me is saying attach some fuel directly to the fuel pump, attach the banjo bolt back on, and then see if it fires up. Half of me is saying that. That could solve our problem. Let's give it a go, eh? How very weird. So I've literally taken the fuel pump out, reconnected it, and she now starts and runs on her own fuel, which I will show you now, but my dog will bark. I can hear the fuel pump running, which it wasn't doing before. Could do with a tick over turning up, I reckon. It's better than yesterday for sure. Really, really pleased with that. Now we've got a bit of a coolant issue, so that's the next job, but really pleased with that because she's now running on her own fuel. Happy days.